Okay, we have our proposed network drawn, our inlets and pipes and manholes. So now we're going to delineate our drainage areas and assign our areas to inlets and compute our times of concentration. Let me turn on my area level. Actually, let me make that active. Close that. And here's my drainage areas in yellow. I've got them all drawn except for one, except for inlet number 6 here. InRoads has a tool that will delineate the drainage area for you if you click on a particular point on the surface that is loaded, the active surface. So let's go to, in order to do that, let's go to Evaluation, Hydrology and Hydraulics, and that's an application add-in. And H&H, come down to Display Source Areas. And come over here, choose the surface that you're working in, click Apply, and just click on the point that you want your area to be, that your area drains to. So in this case, I'll just click right in front of inlet number 6. I'll click, and you see the area is drawn. Let me close this out, and you can review your area. More often than not, you have to adjust it a little bit. Personally, I prefer to draw my own areas. But anyway, it's a useful tool, and it's a good place to start. Okay, so to assign our areas to inlets and compute our times of concentration, let's go to Drainage, Flows, Compute Flow, and we're going to use the rational method. And when you go to design your network, InRoads also supports the modified rational method, but we're using the rational method. Come down here, click on Options, and you'll notice we have an IDF file here. That's this file here, rainfall intensity.idf. Here's your return year storms. Here's your minutes over here, 0, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then obviously your rainfall amounts. You can adjust this based on the data that you're required to use in your area. And I'll close that out. That file is located in your project defaults. File project defaults, and you set that file ahead of time when you set up your defaults. There's your IDF. Close. Okay, so you go to where we were, drainage, flows, compute flow, and let's start with area number 8, inlet 8. So we'll assign a name of A8, area 8. Your drainage area, if you know your drainage area, you can just type it in if you want, or if you don't know it, you can compute it from your CAD graphics. Click the target selector button, and we'll come over here and click the outline for inlet 8. You see it's highlighted, data point to accept, and now the drainage area is populated in the drainage area field, 0.07 acres. Okay, our runoff coefficient, again, if you know that, just type it in, or if not, you can compute it based on your land use values and your coefficients. Click on Compute, click Browse, and runoff.dat, click Open, and that's this file here that has all your land uses and your coefficients for your return year storms. For example, our paved streets, impervious, we have 0.87 for the 2-year storm, 0.93 for the 10-year storm, and you can edit these, and these will be different based on the values that you're required to use where you live. So anyway, back to our compute dialog. Let's design for the 2-year storm for right now. And let's assume that our area is, let's come down to paved streets and put in the percentage of usage. So let's say that that area is 90% impervious. And let's come down and say the other 10% is sandy lawn. So I'll put in 10 for there, and now you see it's the total percentage adds up to 100, and our composite coefficient is 0.8. When you're happy with your data right there, for some reason that changed to 5. Let's change it back to 2, and okay, and you see that automatically changed because coefficients are slightly different. Okay, so let's click apply, and now our time of concentration, once again, if you know your time, just enter it right in, 9 minutes for example, or if not, you can compute it. Come over here and click the compute button, and there's various methods, FAA, there's your overland flow, there's your your sheet flow, shallow concentrated, open channel. You can put in your various numbers there and then click apply. Let's use the FAA. Length, once again, if you know your length, just simply type it in, and the slope of your surface, again, simply type it in. If not, then you can use InRoads to calculate it. Click your target selector button, and let's assume that we've drawn our travel path. That's this red line. We'll just select the line, data point to accept, and automatically has the length. It reads the slope from the surface file, and it calculates your time of concentration over here, 4.48 minutes. When you're happy with that, just simply click apply, and based on your rainfall data and your coefficient and your time of concentration, it gives you your peak flow for that particular drainage area. Now let's connect all this data to an inlet. Select your target selector button, or you can simply just type in the name of the inlet, or you can use the target selector, select that, following the prompts in the bottom left, identify the structure, click on inlet 8, data point to accept, and when you review all that and that's all correct, simply click apply, and your data is entered. And do that with the rest of the areas. Let's go up to inlet 1, drainage area, target selector button, select the outline, data point to accept. Let's assume that our land uses are the same, 90% impervious and 10% lawn, so we'll just leave that. Let's use a minimum time of concentration of 5 minutes. That's standard practice often. And let's attach that to inlet 1, data point to accept, apply. Now we're going up to inlet 2, target point on my area, I'll click my outline, data point to accept, and again let's assume the same land uses and minimum time of concentration, 5 minutes. Attach that to inlet number 2, select, data point to accept, apply. Let's go to area 3, it's over here. Let's select our outline, data point to accept, attach to inlet 3, select, data point to accept, apply. Area 4, let's select our outline, let's make sure that's area 4, yes, data point to accept, attach to inlet 4, data point to accept, click apply, and so on and so on. I'll close that out, and you can just apply the areas and the times of concentration and whatnot to the rest of your inlets, and that's how to assign your areas and times of concentration.